thanks for checking out this new video here on Proper Food for You. The plan was to have posted a lot more videos by now, but it just hasn't worked out so far. I'm going to try and do a lot more from now on. Next week I'll be posting a video for a lovely custard you can use for your Christmas pudding, so watch out for that. Today I'm just going to do what I call a video hack, which will be talking about sharpening your knives, how to get a good edge on your knife. So obviously it's very important for carving the Christmas turkey. This is something I really need to show you rather than write about on the blog, because there's a lot of technique involved, a lot of skill, and a lot of the method I need to show you rather than put it all in words. So that I think this way is better. So whatever type of knife you're going to be using, technique is pretty much the same. If you're using a standard kitchen knife like this, with a slightly curved edge on it, or maybe a knife with a straighter edge like this, or perhaps just a small little utility knife like that one with a smaller blade. The exception obviously is with knives like this one, serrated edged knives, knives with teeth. Those knives generally don't need to be sharpened because the edges of them don't make very good contact with the blade. If you find that your serrated knife isn't slicing or cutting very well, then it's probably not very good to start with, so throw it away and invest in a new one. So the technique is basically the same. Now I must warn you, the sharpening with a steel like this, standard kitchen steel, can be very dangerous. You're swiping a blade with a sharp edge around and it could cut yourself very easily, so please be careful. So there are a lot of different styles of knife sharpeners on the market. You have some that come in these little boxes, like this one for instance. They have a little stone set up inside so that you can just draw the knife through that little guard there. I find the results of these ones tend to vary. I've used a few different ones. Some are good, some are bad, and it tends to be a little bit hit and miss. And these can be a little expensive, so you need to check out and make sure you get a good one. But professionals generally tend to use steels like this. They're a little metal rod with a grip at the edge and a little guard here so you can protect yourself. You can see, I don't know if you can see there, that one has taken a fair bit of punishment from blades over the years. But better this takes the punishment in your hand. So these are the styles. They come in this type of grooved metal so that the edge of the blade makes good contact and it gets a good sharp edge on it. The cheaper versions of these tend not to be worth the money. I wouldn't really go for them. The best steel I've actually ever had is this one. This one I bought in IKEA, believe it or not. Right here is the web page, the product page for that. I think if you check out this code right here, this is the code that comes, and I think in any country you can check that out. I think the price of it is generally about 20 euros or maybe $15 depending on where you are. But it's a really good steel. It has a diamond coated edge here, and I find it does the job brilliantly on all of these knives. These fancy Japanese knives that I use, this thing does a great job sharpening. So let's see how we do that then. So as you can see, the steel has a fairly flat edge on it, and this surface is the one we use for sharpening the knives. If I just show you, you hold the blade of the knife flat against it like that. Now the angle that the knife is held at is very important. It's important to hold it almost, not quite flush, but just at a very narrow angle like that. The actual angle I think is about 18 degrees. You obviously are not going to be able to measure it with any kind of accuracy. There is a little gizmo that some sharpening stones provide. It's this little brace that's angled at just the right angle, and what you do is you slip it on the back of the knife like that, shove it up more or less to the middle, and then that gives you the angle that you want. If you hold the brace directly against it like that, you can see that that's the angle more or less that you want to hold your knife at. So what you can do is just take a look at that angle right there and try and take a mental picture of it so that you know more or less what you're going for. So I'm not going to use this for for using the steel because it's more for sharpening stones where you're holding it flat on the table. So the technique you want to use then is, once you're holding the knife at that angle to the steel, try and get the shine off there, you begin by holding the knife more or less near the top of the steel, just right there, just near the end of it, at the back end of the knife, and hold the knife. What I like to do is hold it just between the handle and the blade, just grip it right there so that you get the maximum. So you're more or less in the center of it, you've got good control over the knife. And so you start, it's two movements really. You start by bringing the knife down towards you and also at the same time drawing it across the whole length of the blade. The guard here should protect your hands, so you needn't worry about that. So again, just start at the top. For the first pass, hold the knife at this side of the steel, not the back of it, the front of it. So begin at the back of the knife, draw it down and away from you. Then the second movement, you start again, but this time from the other side of the steel. So now we're holding it at the back of this steel end. And again, draw it down towards you, and at the same time across the steel. And you just keep repeating this movement. Now speed isn't very important. All you really need to do is make sure that you're holding it fairly firm. Hold the steel rather in your hand, have a good grip of it, keep it firm and press the knife, not really hard but enough so that you're getting a good contact between the knife and the steel. And you just keep doing that, back, forth, back, forth. And with practice you should get faster. But don't go for speed. As I said, speed isn't important. What you're looking for is just to get the whole length of the blade, get the angle right, and get the two movements down and away each time. And it's important as well, after you've done that, there'll be little metal filings along the edge of the blade. It's always important to clean those off. I'll just show you on another knife. Same idea. Use the whole length of the steel and get the whole length of the blade. If you've got some way of slowing down this video, you can see that even though I speed up, I'm still doing what I told you. For smaller knives it's a little trickier. You just need to get practice. Shorter movements obviously for smaller knives. At the same angle, same movement. So good luck sharpening. Hope you don't cut yourself, and I'll see you again real soon.